How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. Got some stuff back from CGC and just stuff in general. So I get, buy stuff from people as well as get stuff back from CGC. So gonna go through it. This is what I get in for the week. I get more than this, but I just showcase things I find interesting and, I kind of want to talk about, things like that. So all this stuff is out on our website, collectorscomics.com. So go over there, head over there if you want any of this stuff. Also, we have an auction coming up, so if you want to consign to our auction, all you got to do is just fill out the little form, send the comics to us, we'll list it, picture it, sell it for you, everything, and all we take is 5%. That is it. That's 5%, so you get 95% of whatever it goes for. And we also have a cap, too. So if you send a really expensive book, the most we'll ever take is like $500. So, imagine if you're selling through Heritage or something like that, and you send them like an AF-15, they're going to take like 20 to probably 30% depending on the book, and it really adds up. So for us, though, we cap it. Our max fee is $500. That is it. So let's get right into it. So got a couple restored stuff. Got this, let me see, get the picture good. All right, this Action Comics number 61, slight restoration. Let me see what the restoration is. Top right edge trimmed and small amount of dry glue on staple. So a little bit of trimming going on. Let's see. Yeah. Yep, just looking, making sure. Sometimes CGC is wrong. I know, it's weird. How could they possibly be wrong? Anyways, $6.99. For some reason, in this new setup, I feel like my table's smaller, which is weird. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I feel like I have less space on the table when it's literally the exact same stuff I had before. This one, Batman number 2. This is first appearance of, Talon or something like that? Yeah, Talon. This is signed by, Greg Capello, Scott Snyder, and Jonathan Glapion. I don't know. Anyways, this is the variant cover of it. Man, I need to figure out get some light in there right there-ish. CBCS cases, it's too faded, I think. Like, this could be old. Obviously, this is an old label. They have a different label now, but $129. Yeah, that's just kind of like, I don't know, it has like when you hold up the CBCS in a CGC case, now I know this is like I don't know if this is an old case or just they changed the label. I'm not entirely sure. I think this is their current case. It's just, their plastic is, on CGC, is just much more clear than CBCS. Like CBCS has this kind of like milky look to it. It's hard to tell. You're never going to tell in this picture. But if you look at like the edges, the see-through part of it, like looking around here, you're going to see that this is just vastly more clear. And it's probably a compromise. Like, that's why I did a video, and CBCS, theirs didn't break when you pretty much ran it over the car, but CGC did. So they probably, they wanted more clarity, which made it more brittle and more like stiff. And this was more flexible, but made it less clear. So depends what you want. All right, Fantasy 4 number 2. This is cover trim. Get the stupid light. Man, I hate doing lighting. It's like, I don't understand it. Like, I put lights. I look online and it's like, I don't know. And also, I'm dealing with stuff that's like reflective too. I don't know. $13.99. Here we go. This is Missing the 11th Page. Does not affect story. So this is qualified. It's green label. I don't know if you can tell. You'll see in the picture. I flashed the pictures across. $5.29. But yeah, if you don't want to pay the high price of a blue universal label, you can get a green label. Grendel number 1. And 9.2, $179. Now you're probably wondering, it's like, how come you don't say what you thought it was good? A lot of these, like I said, I buy, I just get, or I've had. So some of these in here I've had for a very, very, very long time. And since I moved to this new facility, I was able to find all these boxes with like just, it's like you put something somewhere and then it's like kind of like disappears for a while. That's what like some of these are, or coming soon. A lot of them are. I was just going through a bunch of boxes of things that like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot I even had that. And like, just, just random stuff, just spread throughout. This one's kind of cool. You're not going to be able to see anyways. This is Mega Man Fully Charged. This is the 1 in 100 variant. Now, I tried to look up, I couldn't find too much information other than I think there was somewhere around like the high 30,000 to like 38,000 to 42,000 print run of this. Now, a 1 in 100 retail incentive variant. So there's two different foils of this. There's the normal foil and this is the gold foil. I think the normal foil is more of like a just silverish looking. Anyway, so this is a 1 in 100 variant. That means that the comic shop had to order 100 of the cover A to get this. Now, if every comic shop ordered 100 to get this one, you're looking at probably, if they say there's 40,000 print run, you're looking at 400 that could possibly exist of this. Now, there's definitely not, every comic shop was ordering 100. Most probably ordered like 1 to 5. So this is probably actually pretty rare if you like Mega Man stuff. Does that make it desired? No, it just makes it more rare. So does that make the price increase? I don't know. So none have really sold in a while. What did I see? I priced it at $5.99. So it is the highest grade. Not that many. Guaranteed you, not that many out there. Probably, if I had to guess realistically, I would say probably 50 to 100 are out there. If it's a true 1 in 100 variant. Now, that doesn't mean you can always have the publisher make a whole bunch because they have to make them beforehand and then they don't sell them and then they're supposed to destroy them, but they don't. So, we saw that happen with Spawn 306. National Comics. Awesome cover. I love this cover. I don't think it's the first appearance or anything. I think it's just a great cover. Classic cover. He's choking out this green skeleton and they're massive. Is it Lou Fine? Yep, Lou Fine cover. This is a cool cover. I like Lou Fine. I like this Golden Age stuff. I did a video on Lou Fine. And yeah, they all like pretty much died. All Golden Age artists all died of like heart disease and smoking, stuff like that. Okay. $29.99. So yeah, very expensive book. Very cool. Here we got the Vigilante, but this is Adrian Chase. He's in the Peacemaker show. This book used to be a lot more expensive. It is not. This is a 9.8. $189. I want to say this is like the first Sergeant Rock cover or something. Whatever. $5.99. Here we go. First appearance of Grendel. And primary number 2. $5.59. First Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Ooh, lots of glare. That's a little better. And a 9.6. This is not a first printing. This is a third printing. One way you can tell, and if you open it up, you can easily tell because the first printing says nothing, second printing says second print, third printing says third print. Fourth printing, it's a very different look. This it's not a magazine size; it's a normal comic book size, and it doesn't look like this. One easy way to tell is if you look up here in the T, you can see there's 2 little three kind of circle bloods, and then this like slash of blood. That slash of blood is only in the third printing. How it got there, why it got there, I don't know. $2,000. Here we got the Line Breaker of The Last Ronin. I read this comic book, and I must say that I'm a fan of the story, but I am not a fan of the dialogue. $1,000 for this one. And then this one comes with a little coin. But this is the metal line breaker version. And so this has only had 101 printed, and this is number 45 of 101. At one point, for some reason, I don't know why, I thought it would have been cool to buy them all. I'm reminded of this. I want to say it was Goof Troop or Quack Pack. I don't remember which one it was. But one of them, there's this like crappy common baseball card and no one cares about. And so one of the people in there buys them all up and then destroys all of them. And so like pretty much makes it like super rare. And I was like, oh, that'd be cool if I had them all. I wouldn't destroy them, but I'd just keep them all. Then no one could have them. No one. Unless they wanted to pay millions of dollars. Billions of dollars. That's how you get rich. That's how you become a billionaire. Nonetheless, I'm just joking. This one, a 9/8, 2000. So this one, I've had this maybe a decade. Probably coming close up on a decade. I remember where I stacked this. This was at like 3 homes ago for me. That's how old this is. And I remember getting it, and I'm like, what is this? What do I even do with this? And I love buying things that are like interesting and unique, and there's like no information about it. And then it's kind of like you have to investigate to find information on it. I always like getting stuff like that. That's kind of interesting to me. I have a couple things like that floating around. But yeah, so I get this thing in. It's called the Complete Mad Magazine Checklist. And it's by Fred von Bernowitz. It's from 1961. And yeah, this guy just must have loved Mad magazines, kind of a thicker cover. And the rest is this kind of like, I don't know, you can't really see, but it's like, this looks like he just typed it out page by page and bounded this together himself. He sold this for $1.50. And each one just talks about each Mad magazine, like number 53. And it talks about, who is the writer, who is the artist of each of the little, stories and articles and things like that was in it. Goes through and all the things that you need to get. Just very, obviously the internet exists now and all this stuff is common knowledge or very easily defined. But back then, it's like if you wanted to know this stuff, that's what people don't realize. Like back in the day, it's like once a comic came out, there was no way to look it up. It was out and it was done. If there was a comic in 1960, and let's say you wanted a Spider-Man number 6, right? But you were born later, you started collecting Spider-Man at number 40 something. There's no way to go back. Like comic shops didn't really exist. Like sometimes people would have ads in the back of comics that you can buy some back issues, but who knows if they actually had it. And you never got to read that story, got to see that, even see the cover. Now it's like, everything's so easy. You can find all this information online, no problem seeing the cover, read the book, all that stuff. You might wait for if they did a reprint. Sometimes they did, like in Marvel Tales, they would do reprints of Spider-Man's. But if you wanted a reprint of, someone else, reprint of Iron Man. I know reprint of Hulk and Fantastic Four was like My Greatest Comics. I don't know if they reprinted every issue, but yeah, so it's like you couldn't get that stuff. So this was interesting to me. I did see recently he made 3 of these, or at least as far as I know, 3. So this is number 1. There's number 2 and a number 3, probably every year or every couple of years. Oh yeah, number 3 came out in like 71 or 2. So a decade later, he came out with another one. So this Fred von Bernowitz, really into Mad magazine. Like he would collect every one, jot down everything. I wonder whatever happened to him. If anyone knows any information, that would be really cool. I'll put this thing on later. So, because I like finding out about that stuff, like unique, quirky things. So, I'm sure someone out there who likes Mad Magazine will tell me something, anything, any information. I try to read almost every comment. I try. Usually if I read it, I put a little heart next to it. Doesn't mean I like the comment. This means I read it. So you guys know that I'm at least... if you take the time to type something out, I'll try to take the time to read it. Kanto, man. This one, I think I put it on some list, and this was going to be made by Will Smith's brand new animation studio, which got canceled because he slapped Chris Rock. So there you go. Which one is this? This is the convention one, 9.8, $3.99. Retailer incentive for Encanto, just Canto, number 1, $8.99. This one is interesting because the grade is so bad. So, this one right here, Giant Size X-Men number 1, it's a 1.0. It's CGC would give this a 0.5. CBCS would probably give it a 1.0. I've seen CBCS give remainder copies 1.0s. I made a whole video about it. I thought it was stupid. When a third of the cover is missing, you cannot give it a 1.0. I'm sorry. This one is Giant Size X-Men number 1. Basically, right here is the original cover, and they tore off this half. This is called a remainder copy. Usually back then what it was you would, instead of sending the whole book back that it didn't sell, right? It didn't sell, you'd send it back and you get a refund. I don't know what, this was 50 cents, so I don't know what you'd pay the distributor, maybe 25 cents to get it or something like that. You could, instead of sending the whole book back, would be a lot costly in shipping, you would just tear off the top label, you would send it back, just the label, and they'd give you, if you paid 25 cents for the book, they'd probably give you like 5 or 10 cents back. I don't know the actual numbers. So you'll see a lot of books that'll have like this top torn off. So this person just took basically a, colored copy, Xerox thing, and then put it up there and then put it behind it. So they gave it a 1.0. It shouldn't be a 1.0. It should be a 0.5. It is PGX, but whatever. $7.49. Legend of Zelda, number 1. They are making a movie of this. I did predict this one right. Same with Mario. 2 predictions. We're right. 2 predictions wrong in this one. I'll show you another prediction that I got wrong. Legend of Zelda, $3.69. Here's a prediction that I got wrong. It's more of not a prediction. It's more of like a hope and a prayer, I guess. Nonetheless, this is Nemesis. Mark Millar was going to have this whole Netflix, like they spent like almost like $1 billion acquiring all of Mark Millar's universe. And he came out with Jupiter Ascending is that bad movie. Was it Jupiter Legacy? I think it was called, which I actually really liked. But they canceled it because it was too costly or something that's stupid. I don't know. Anyways, this is Nemesis. Dynamic Forces edition, $129. So, hasn't really done anything. Usagi Yojimbo. Number 1, 9.8, $7.49. I bought this book years ago. And I looked what I paid for it. I paid like $2,000 for it. And it has dropped significantly. That's kind of the downside of when you lose stuff and you forget to sell it. That, not lose, but just put it away. And I was like, oh, I'm going to save this for something. And then, so, yep. It is what it is. All right. That is it. Have a great day.